What's up, everybody? We alive. Another day above soil. I may have mentioned this in previous videos, but I'm going to mention it again. Sustainability may be a lot about caring for the environment, planting trees, planting plants, saving the lives of animals, reducing the carbon footprint. Yeah. Being eco-friendly and sustainable encompasses lots and lots and lots of that. But ladies and gentlemen, sustainability or being sustainable also has to do with something else. So while I'm cutting this newspaper and while I'm rolling some more, I'm going to tell you about another reason for why sustainability is important, or another angle of sustainability that y'all may need to think about. So, other than planting trees and saving the environment, another topic that has to do with sustainability is money. What if I told y'all that there's definitely ways to keep this right here? What if I told y'all that there's a lot of ways to keep this in your pocket? There are many ways to both gain money and keep your money in your pocket. Yep. And some people accuse me of being cheap. They say, Drew, you need to treat yourself. You need to stop being cheap. Okay, fine. Maybe some people can consider me to be cheap. Yeah, okay. Maybe I drive a Toyota and not a Maserati. Maybe I choose to wear black shirts and not a tuxedo. Maybe I get a baseline MacBook Pro and not the whole shebang. Maybe I get basic cups, teacups, and not a teacup that's going to make me fly. If that means that I'm cheap, okay, fine. Call me cheap. But no, there's a reason for why I find the happy medium in many cases. I try to be smart with my money because I want to be sustainable. There are certain areas of time where you're going to have to think, okay, what do I need? What do I want? And what do I deserve? There's going to be a lot of areas. There's going to be a lot of times where you can make money. Like you can work for a job, you can work for a college, you can work for McDonald's, you can work for an oil refinery, you could work for a diamond factory if they have them around. You could make artwork. Although this is right now a side hustle, I do work for a place to support myself to be sustainable for me so that I can continue to do this. That's just the plain and honest truth. However, there are some things out there that you really need to be careful for. And I'm going to interject right here because this, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be an area where opinions might become unpopular and I might dive into controversy. So, if the sensitive topic is MLMs, being scammed by a scammer, if you are triggered by those topics, you may want to turn away right now. Oh, you're still here? Okay. So we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of what we're going to be talking about today. Today, I want to talk to y'all about MLMs, multi-level marketing companies. I'm going to list off a few companies that are considered MLMs. Some of them are around, some of them are still around, some of them are questionable. And if there's anybody out there who can confirm or deny, feel free to write them in the comments. Please do. So, some examples of MLMs. Vector Marketing, Enway, Mary Kay, Color Street, Sensi. Yeah. These are, 5 links. These are MLMs. And some people do make an income on these multi-level marketing companies. Other people either make peanuts or they actually lose money. And this is where things are going to get very interesting. Some people consider MLMs something called a pyramid scheme. You've got a big old bottom of the pyramid. And then you got a small sliver that is the medium. And then you got a little tip at the top. And that is the very 1%. At the very bottom, you have the foot soldiers. You got the people who are making the peanuts. You got the independent contractors, as they would call it. Those are the foot soldiers, the people who are making probably 5 to 10% on commission. Basically, if you're working commission, you can't make money unless you sell a product. That's the people who are on the bottom. And then in the middle, you have the mid-managers. They may be in charge of a district, a region, a city. So you may have a few foot soldiers who are selling things in Oswego. And then you have the manager who is in charge of all of those little foot soldiers in Oswego. And then you probably might have a level on top of that where they may be in charge of Central New York. You have Onondaga County where you have Syracuse, Nedrow, Liverpool, and a few other places. And then you lump Oswego in there. You might even throw in Utica. So you have those kind of managers. And then you have the CEO who is at the very top. People at the bottom, they're not making money unless they sell something. That's just how it is. And then in the middle, the people in the middle, they don't make money. They make money, but in order for them to make money, the people at the bottom need to make money. These mid-managers probably have 50% of a commission. So if they sell something, they're going to get 50% of that revenue. And then you got the CEO. As long as the company is still standing, they're going to get paid. And when I mean get paid, they're going to get paid a lot. Well, Drew, how do you know all this? Well, I got played. Back when I was in college, I ran into a few advertisements for vector marketing. I did. And there was a few people who I graduated from high school with, and then there was somebody I was going to Mount St. Mary's University with who was working for this company called Vector Marketing. And in my mind, I'm like, what is this vector marketing? What is this $17 base pay? $17 an hour? And mind you, this is back in 2009, 2010. $17 an hour. That's something else. I mean, if you're working $17 an hour, that's over minimum wage. I know somebody who might want to take that kind of wage. I know some people who would. So when I'm seeing $17 an hour on their advertisement, I want in. And young me, I was naive, and I wanted to get away from a few of the work situations that I had. Because let's be real, I was in a toxic work environment in the summers between semesters in academic years. I admit it. And I wanted to get away with it. So I was like, I'm going to see what this vector marketing is about. So I proceeded to call the number on that page. Yep, I did. So this is how things started to play out. So I was walking around Mount St. Mary's University and the big old dining hall that connected, campus activities. And it was the hub where everything happened. It was called Patriot Hall. So in Patriot Hall, they had these bulletin boards. And it was right next to the Mount Cafe where people in the anime club used to sit. The anime club used to sit in the center in that corner. And sometimes I'd be sitting there too, not gonna lie. Because there's some cool people. I hope they're good. But anyway, I saw a really bright orange advertisement saying vector marketing, $17 an hour with a little asterisk. And I called that number. And there was this young lady who scheduled an appointment. It was like, vector marketing, how may I help you? And I said, well, I saw an advertisement at my school talking about $17 an hour and that y'all were hiring. And she was going to book me for an interview that week. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. So y'all ain't need my resume? Y'all don't need my cover letter or nothing? And they're like, no, sir. We don't need that kind of stuff. You know what? I'm going to think about it. Well, we're going to have interviews this week. I'm going to need an answer today. So I'm like, I'm going to need to think about that. Thank you. Bye. And then I receive another call. And this time, it was on behalf of somebody that I knew from high school. I mean, I knew the person back then, but I didn't know them. So I was like, hey, what's up? This is Drew. Hey, this is da-da-da-da-da from Vector Marketing. It's nice to hear from you. It's nice to hear from you too. What's up? There is this one person by the name of da-da-da-da-da-da. He graduated from your high school and is a good friend of yours and wants you to work for Vector Marketing. We're going to have interviews this week. I hope you can make it. It's at this time, this location. And it was on Cromwell Bridge Road. It was over in Towson. And it was very close to where I used to work. It's like on Loch Raven Boulevard. So if I got any of the Marylanders in the comments, give me a holler. So at this moment in time, I really got curious. I said, okay, so what does vector marketing do? Oh, sir, if you want to learn more about what vector marketing does, you're going to need to come to the interview. And I was like, okay, so why can't you tell me now? So she paused for a little bit of a second and is like, sir, if you want to answer that question, you're going to have to go to the interview. And I said, well, I'm going to think about it. And then another week had passed. I received another phone call. And guess who called me? Hello, this is Vector Marketing. Is this Drew? And I'm like, yes. Why are you calling me? Somebody who you are going to school at Mount St. Mary's University with is working for Vector Marketing and is interested in having you work with them. We're having interviews during a certain time. I said, okay, what is Vector Marketing? Sir, you're going to have to go to the interview and find out. So I hear from multiple sources about this Vector Marketing. And they're telling me to just go to this interview. So if I'd be seeing some red flags, but at the same time, if I'm getting all these messages saying to go to the interview, then maybe I should give it a try. And besides, I was trying to get away from a situation that was already hostile. So I put on my Sunday best. I was looking real pretty because you know I exfoliated thoroughly before I was going to go in for the interview. So I dressed to the nines. I rode up in my 99 Camry. You know, it was like, blaring Barbie Girl from Aqua. Yeah, that's the song I was playing. So, turn the car off. I go in the interview. Turns out it was actually a group interview. It was me and a few other people, and there was actually somebody else in that group who I used to bowl with. So I'll link up with him. I'm like, hey man, what's up? What's up? It was a good reunion. So then they pitched this idea, and we're pretty much going to be selling cutlery, knives. The product looked really cool. And fast forward through the interview, they hired me that day. And they said, okay, Drew, we want you on our team. Training is going to start on Monday. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to be there. So, of course, I was like, hey, Mom, I got a job. Woo, 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 woo. And she's like, good for you. What are you going to be doing? I'm going to be selling Vector or Cutco cutlery. She's like, okay, cool. So in the back of her mind, she knew something was up, but she wasn't going to say nothing to me. So my naive self took my happy self to this disclosed location that's near Shepherd Pratt and Cromwell Bridge Road over in Towson, Maryland. Took my happy self, dressed to the nines. It was really, really, really ridiculously hot. And then it began. Indoctrination. That's the word that comes to mind when it comes to the beginning of working for MLMs. They will load you up with self-help. They will say anything is possible if you put your mind to it. You gotta take out the negativity, and you gotta bring in the positivity. If you can't do that, you are not going to be successful with our company. The end. And they employ this black and white thinking, saying you're not making sales because you're not making connections. You're not trying hard enough. Oh, and did I mention? Yeah, the training was not paid. They were training us for free. Most cases, they would compensate you for the training. All the jobs that I had in the past, they paid me during training. And then, after the training was over, they had us purchase a sample kit of knives. They had us put a security deposit on the sample kit of knives. And they said, well, it's an investment. If you want to invest in your future, you better put the money toward these knives. A lot of black and white thinking. Come to find out, there was a lot of people who didn't make it that far. And I was like, wait a minute, where was Ivan the other day? I don't see Ivan. Why is he not here? I should have seen these red flags, but I went along with it. And they said, okay, you need to call your friends, you need to call your family members, and you also need to recruit. There was a very heavy emphasis on recruitment. They wanted me to call my friends, they wanted me to call my cousins, they wanted me to call everybody on my Facebook page or MySpace and have them work for Vector Marketing. Yeah. So there was a lot of emphasis on recruit, because those are going to be the foot soldiers who are on the front lines making peanuts. So meanwhile, everybody could have been making money at a McDonald's or at the library or at a Best Buy. And then you got Vector Marketing is saying, oh, all these things could be automated. You could be replaced by a robot. But instead, you're working for Vector Marketing. You could be with us positive people, or you could be working at a place where you could be replaced by a robot. So they employ this black and white thinking, and anyway, yeah, I lost money. I lost money that real bad, and I got tricked. I got played. And the thing is, these companies are widespread, and there's a lot of them out there. The nature of these MLMs, these multi-level marketing companies, is very similar to the structure of a cult. So these are a few things to look out for in an MLM. They recruit deceptively. Do they go to you through a friend? And are they direct with a job description of what you will do exactly? Is there a lot of vagueness? If there's some vagueness, that should be a red flag. Do you have to put down a down payment for something that you're going to use for a job? For vector marketing, I had to pay $130 for a sample kit of knives. $130, and $130 is a doable amount right now in my 30s. Yeah, I could do that. But we're talking about someone who's fresh out of high school and into college. I ain't gonna have that money. And in the year 2022, I bet you there's some people out there who don't have the money right now. Shoot. We're in pandemic times. You know some people ain't got that money. So if they want money from you up front, best believe it's probably an MLM. Another thing to look out for, do they have an us versus them mentality? If they have a black and white mindset saying that they're the good guys and anybody who disagrees with you is the bad and they don't get it, you're probably going to get played by an MLM. I'm just saying. It's either you're a cat person or a dog person. You're a Yankees fan or a Red Sox fan. You're a black bear or a grizzly bear fan. You're either an oil painter or acrylic painter. You're either Black Lives or Blue Lives Matter. It's either black or white. You're either a chess player or a checkers player. However, that is something called a false dilemma fallacy. You're creating a dilemma that shouldn't even exist. For example, why do I have to be just a cat or dog person? I can just love animals. I mean, look at all these different animals right here. I love animals. Why do you have to be either a Yankees or a Red Sox fan? You could just like baseball. If they have that black and white thinking and they're drilling it into your head, you're probably going to get played. Here's the deal. I know for a fact that there's going to be some people who will disagree with me. And that is 110% fine. Because you know what? You have your opinion, I have mine, and my intention is to prevent y'all from getting played and to promote sustainability. And in this situation, sustainability also has to do with keeping your money in your pocket. So if it means having you save your money and not getting hustled by these MLMs, so be it. My business of Live Don't Exist LLC is not an MLM. You know why? Because I am the only person who is in this business. I'm the person who's making all this stuff. And I'm not hustling the 1%, the people in the very bottom of the pyramid. There's nobody, I don't have anybody working under me right now. And to be honest, I've been played that way. So I'm not going to have it happen. Honestly, Live Don't Exist LLC, it's way too small for it to be an MLM right now. I would need to employ hundreds upon thousands of people. It could very well happen, but knowing my experiences with an MLM and also about to get hustled by another MLM when I was working for an internship, I can't do it. I cannot do it. I can't. I'm sorry. So that's just how it is. If you feel like y'all learned something today, cool. I'm glad that I could keep money in your pocket another day. I'm so glad. And in the off chance that there's somebody who disagrees with me, that's 110% fine. Just know that I have no qualms. I have no bad feelings to y'all. Y'all are just making ends meet, and y'all thought that it'd be beneficial to work for MLMs or some of these other companies. I hear you. I don't have any personal vendettas against you or anybody similar. I just think that some of the practices of these MLMs are unethical, and they should be considered illegal, but they're not. One of the ways to prevent this from happening is to ask questions. If you have a red flag in your mind, you probably might want to talk to your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your auntie, your uncle, or maybe a close friend of yours, or maybe someone who's an acquaintance. Ask for help. That's a good start to preventing yourself from getting played by these MLMs. Yep, that's what it is. But anyway, there's a lot of things within our society that discriminate. Death, however, doesn't discriminate. I want to thank y'all for watching this content. We're still greatly on the road to 100 subscribers. The Etsy and Instagram is in the description. I leave you all with much love, good spirits, and vibes. Until next time, I see y'all later. I'm out.